first walk that we took, one of the things that struck us right away was the movement of water on the land here and how the movement of water and relationship of water and land is really setting the context on which like the whole ecosystem is functioning, and the water remembering its way back to where it was.
The Schuylkill Center was founded in 1965, and at the time it was one of the first nature centers located in a major American city. And the art program is one thing that I think sets us apart from other nature centers. It's a unique way to connect people with nature in a maybe more emotional or empathetic, or just using the creativity of artists to inspire a different kind of connection with nature, or to reveal things that might go unnoticed.
It's very open here with the light, and it's because when you go into the forest, it's so dense with trees.
I knew through this residency that I was interested in building on some of the exploration through a program called the Moving Field Guide, which brings people out on a walk to connect with and learn about the environment through dance making and through an interdisciplinary approach to learning.
On one of our first walks here, we saw these bundles of sticks that were leaning against trees and their erosion control, and we later found out they're called fascines. There's something to me really powerful about the aggregation, that one stick by itself doesn't have much impact, but many sticks do. So it becomes a question of, if we're going to make these fascines, how can we make these bundles of sticks into something that is actually an art object, that is thoughtfully arranged and created and placed, which then starts the conversation about art, about erosion, about remediation, about human impact in landscape. But also, how can we leave a lasting and positive impact in some way?
So artists, they aren't only making installations that look beautiful or tell us something about nature, but they're actually participating in the ecosystem and in the land restoration projects themselves.
Cells are also able to absorb, take in water.
There's a concept in ecology called edge effects. Along the edge between a forest and a grassland, let's say, or between the coast and the ocean, it's really rich in diversity.
Let's be inspired by that taking in water. We know how important that is.
I feel like that's the space that we're in when you have an interdisciplinary project. As a scientist, I might see a connection that only I would know about, but Cassie, with an eye for choreography and dance and her knowledge of that, is going to see other connections. And when those come together, it just makes the thing that we produce even more rich.
I love those moments because it's as we get more particular about the science, the movement gets much more particular. So it isn't just about the art being in service of the science, but that the science and the science learning is in service of the art.
Even in our very young life, we become either creative people or STEM people. Our schools track us that way and train us to think that way. And it's one of the things that I find really attractive about this place, is that there's a real bringing together. I feel like we think more about each other's fields than we are aware of, and I love that the center celebrates that.
I hope that we're also creating a different relationship to a place, one that asks us to listen to our body, asks us to listen to other people's experiences and different kinds of knowledge that people bring to a circle.
An archive of the native plants of Springhouse Pond. And by putting our bodies in nature to dance and to see dance happening, I think it can help us see ourselves as part of nature and not as separate from it.
Of blue wood aster seed.